So, I know that many of you out there have probably tried your hand at being a part of our little weird ranting community, and those of you that have had encounters with the following person known as Marbles probably know how much of an asshair he really is. Well, my friend Andrew Stout, say hello.
Hello, StoutMeister here, aka Official Gattaca.
And myself have had way too many run-ins with this fuckhead, so we're gonna have to just do a response video that's way overdue. If you don't know who Marbles is, well, let me elucidate that for you. He also goes by DevilsFoodCake69, and he's a fucking mindless troll. All this guy does is just start shit with people for the sake of starting shit. You would think, well, you know, it's just trolling. Oh, no. No. The rabbit hole goes way too deep with this guy and crosses between the line of trolling to him being a borderline sociopathic asshole. So we're going to give him his just desserts since he just decided to fuck with us one too many times. This is our response to... I forgot the name of the video.
We're visiting the dork table, of course, because that's what us ranters are.
Dork! I was making a joke about visiting the D&D table and I had to just forget. Anyway, I'm not going to be able to get through this sober, so forgive me, ladies and gentlemen, but I need a beer.
I don't blame you one bit, dude. I got my Sky vodka and Venom fruit punch ready, so...
Politics, skits, news, rants, commentary, reviews, starring the planet Earth.
That's a fucking mood.
I know, I love that. I love that. It's just like, wow, you want to say that you're better than everybody else and that you know more than everyone else and you can't tell the fucking difference between the Earth and the moon, shithead.
Official Gattaca.
Fuck yeah, Official Gattaca, and his edgy fucking intro with edgy fucking music, yeah!
Macho Man Randy Savage. Hey, brother. It sounds like Randy Savage, I'm sorry.
Lens flare.
Lens flare.
What's so bad about lens flare? I never understood the hatred of it. Your intro's fucking cool. He doesn't even have an intro.
I put more effort into my videos, and you put more effort into your videos than any of those edge tards combined, and plus, it's a good way to fucking promote my channel, and it's a nice way to promote my good friend's band, Aeon Zen, which is a kick-ass progressive metal band.
Yeah, it's not like legit musicians and shit want you to put their music in your intros or anything because they like what you do. No, it's not like that's going on at all.
It's not like Stevie and I don't collaborate and talk with legitimate musicians and got a nice video series going on, but I won't whore that out too much. I'm sorry. Let's go on.
Song, generic Sonic Final Boss by whoever.
Let's see you try to write some music like that, dickhead.
I'm sorry he wants to listen to the Bee Gees and shit. Dude, you can hang out with Robin Gibbs all you want. I'm sorry, we're men and we like metal, and I'm sorry that's just too much for you. I didn't know his mom didn't let him listen to anything harder than Linkin Park.
And I thought I had mom issues, according to Marbles.
Right?
Hey, what's up, guys? StoutMeister here, and today I got my good old buddy Madsby helping me out with this particular gold-digging gay fish.
That's new.
Yeah!
Dork.
Is that something that he put in there?
Yeah, the original joke freaking thing.
Because, like, when I watched this, I watched it before, before we decided to do this, and I'm like, is that in your video or his? Because it just, like, popped out of nowhere, and I'm like, the fuck?
I'm glad he took the time to actually add his own little bits in there. Like, I feel honored that he actually took the time to actually edit his own original jokes and his commentary. I feel loved.
Yeah, I mean, you have to go out of your way to make somebody so anally annihilated they have to edit their own shit into your own video, really.
And thank you for linking my video in there at the very least, drawing in more traffic for me. Thank you. And how he just craves attention, everything from the Taylor Swift incident to not being able to tell the difference between who's a cripple and who's not a cripple.
Back to Official Gattaca Politics, and yes, the year is 2015, and I did just refer to disabled people as cripples. Tune into my next politics episode where we talk about faggots finally being able to get married, as well as all of the riots those blackies have been having.
I didn't even make a video on the riots, but I talked about the gay marriage thing. What was so bad about that? I mean, I was saying that it's a good thing that marriage equality is finally legal in all 50 states, so exactly where was I off?
I don't know, maybe it's just that he's a closeted homophobe or something like that. I love that in every single video he's got the fucking mask, you know, it's not like a mark against his integrity or anything like that. No, not at all. He just doesn't have the balls to show his face and put it to an argument. But I don't get it, you know, what's so bad about making a fucking video on gay marriage, you know? I mean, what are you trying to say, Marbles? That homosexuals don't deserve equality? Are you that fucking in denial?
I thought feminists were allies with the LGBT, and you identify as a male feminist, so...
Yeah. Wait, he does?
Yeah. Yeah, he's also one of those motherfuckers that got on to me for being an egalitarian, and he gets on to anyone that calls themselves an egalitarian.
What the fuck is wrong with being an egalitarian? I don't understand. He's like the fucking prototype of every men's right activist I've ever friggin' seen. You know? He's an uber masculine fucking moron. He has no fucking idea what being a feminist is then.
And what he did with Becca.
Hey, Ma! I made a meme!
Oh, nice little joke there about my little thumbnail. Good job, buddy.
Yeah, because it was so worth the editing and so worth the joke.
Hey guys, I'm back.
This is my video pose.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Kanye's ego is probably like...
I'm incredibly comfortable, thank you. Also, what's a light source?
Oh, okay, Steven Spielberg.
It's a fucking webcam. We can't afford to get $2,000 cameras that can get, like, 4K HD or anything like that. Gotta do what you gotta do with what you have.
It's not like I can go to B&H Camera Supply and buy like $2,000 light boxes to put on both sides of my fucking desk or anything. Sorry. This lamp, literally my lamp on the side of my desk is as best as I'm gonna get, but okay.
He's like thinking that he did a good job with his rendition of Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody at Glass.
He thinks he did good, but he didn't do good because his song of Queen was bad and it was not good. Thank you for having me.
And thank you for being a big dickhead.
Has he ever been laid? I'm just curious because, you know, it's not like a guy like this gets laid very often. In fact, there might be some sexual repression issues that he's, you know, trying to, I don't know, put out in these videos. This is my observation.
I mean, he is a male feminist, and as we all know, a lot of male feminists, if not all male feminists, are very repressed sexually, so...
If they're, like, extreme, radical male feminists, yeah, you know, it's like a case of having their balls in someone else's purse. Chopped off by the zipper of the purse.
Oh yeah, his performance of Bohemian Rhapsody was so good with the way that he was conducting himself like a conductor that you see at a symphony orchestra, and the way that he had to get the crowd to sing the higher parts for him. Mama.
He's just a poor boy from a poor family, sparing. So a quick rule recap here. When Green Day uses someone else's crowd participation song and uses their crowd to participate and sing said song, it's okay. When Kanye West does the exact same thing, using an audience to sing the rock version of Row, Row, Row Your Boat, he's wrong, he's lazy for not singing it all on his own, which as we all know, the original was sung by one person. I know you might say, oh, that sounds crazy, there were obviously multiple parts and a chorus in there. The guy actually just stood in a kitchen and echoed the fuck out of his audio. So you guys are right, yes. When Green Day does it, it's cool. When Kanye does it, it's fucking terrible. He's lazy. He's arrogant. How dare he?
But Green Day are talented musicians. Well, they may not be the most talented, but they're a hell of a lot better than Kanye, and I actually put more effort in their music.
To me, it's the fact that Kanye West is a fucking talentless piece of shit who's only playing Bohemian Rhapsody because he's so fucking arrogant. He wants to put himself up there with musicians like Freddie Mercury and shit. Alright, Kanye West has to be, like, cognizant at some point or another that he's not a great fucking musician. So, and not only that, but kind of with the notoriety that is attached to his whole image and shit, and his whole persona, You know, it's insulting to that kind of music. How the fuck can this goddamn asshole not grasp that? Oh, it's great when Green Day does it, but it's bad when Kanye West, so that's an invalid point. Yes, it's bad because it's Kanye West, because guess what? Kanye West's music is shit. And so is Green Day's, but that's my personal opinion. There's people out there that like Green Day, can't hate him for that. But yeah, fuck Kanye West. He has no right to be sitting there trying to put himself on the pedestal as somebody as Freddie Mercury, who's absolutely musically accomplished. And by the way, who's fucking dead, so don't sit there and say it's a tribute, dickhead.
You're a dork! That's Marshall dork!
Not to mention that Kanye West is comparing himself to Jesus, Ralph Lauren, like he wants to be everywhere. He even says himself, I'm gonna be in the history books 20 years from now, I'm gonna be bigger than Ralph Lauren, I'm gonna be bigger than Jesus, I'm gonna be bigger than all these motherfuckers.
I'm the Tupac of product. You gonna see I'm better than Ralph Lauren. You gonna see I'm gonna be bigger than H&M, bigger than Louis Vuitton. That is my, in 10 years of creativity, they say change your job every 10 years. Do you want me to still be the old in the club talking about, girl come to my room and stuff like that right now? People gonna write in the history books about what I'm doing right now. You're going to look back at 20 years and look at the George Bush moment and look at the Beyonce moment, look at the Confederate flag moment, and look when I turned up and made a bigger corporation than H&M and LVMH. And y'all going to remember that. And we're going to be listening to Drake.
You want to know why? Because he has money. You know, he wouldn't be saying this shit if he didn't have any money, but it's the fact that he managed to do the least amount of work and make the most amount of money. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I hate pop stars. They have people write all their songs for them, play all their fucking music for them. One of his biggest songs, he literally just ripped off Daft Punk, like straight up. He paid him a whole bunch of money to use Better, Faster, Harder, Fucking Stronger, and made a song around it. And I'm like, why the fuck didn't you just write your own song? You had to use one that was already famous to make yourself more famous? Great, you suck. That's what I don't like about him. It's just, I can't believe it goes right over his friggin' head. It's like he misses the point of the argument intentionally, because if he didn't, he'd have no video.
Pretty much. I mean, you gotta do something to be controversial, and in a way I can't blame him for that, and not to mention, as far as going back to Kanye, he could have done so much more for the Bohemian Rhapsody. Like, he could have gotten a choir, instead of having a backing track in the fucking stage. He could have not lip sang or anything like that. He just literally had a backing track, and then he just did a shitty vocal cover. And then as far as getting the audience to freaking sing the parts, if you actually listen to the fucking thing, he can't hit the higher notes. I'm not saying that you have to be the best singer in the world, but my god, are you tone deaf, dude?
It's not even that. He already knows he can't sing the song. He doesn't have Freddie Mercury's vocal range. Freddie Mercury had an absolutely insane vocal range. But anyway, let's move on before we do an hour on this particular part.
Just his out-of-tune singing was so magnificent that even celebrities such as Dave Grohl, Dave Crosby, Pete Townsend, and even Adam Lambert, who sings for Queen now, even gave their 2 cents about Kanye's performance of Bohemian Rhapsody. Oh, thank you for blurring out the proof that I was showing about Adam Lambert's tweets and Dave Grohl's video and all the other proof I was showing in the original video with that news article about how apparently you're racist if you don't like the Bohemian Rhapsody cover or some shit like that. Thank you, Marbles.
Yeah, I like that. I saw that too. It's like I said, you know, he has to just distort certain shit because if he didn't, or ignore certain facts because if he didn't, he wouldn't have a video.
Ooh, he's in some hot water again.
Why are you even here? Because she wanted to be here, and she's a good friend of mine, and she's an awesome person, and I like collaborating with other people regardless of their channel status. I mean, that's something a humble human being does.
Yeah, I don't see the big deal with it. I wonder why nobody collaborates with Marbles.
You got me there.
Is it because he's an asshole, or...
Since it's done in the ranting community, it's automatically shit, right?
Collaborations would mean I'd have to have friends.
Networking is key after all, so...
Like I said, collaborations would mean you'd have to have friends.
Well, when you're married to one of the biggest celebrities in the world, your ego is just gonna skyrocket just like that, and...
I'm baffled as to how Kanye West doesn't have severe self-esteem issues.
I don't know what much can be said about this motherfucker other than his ego is just... He thinks he can sing anything just because he worked with Paul McCartney and just because he has all this money. Like, no, there's just certain things he just don't touch up on at all. No.
Now here's the part where I act like Kanye West has absolutely no musical prospects whatsoever and he's just some lucky lottery winner who's been putting out albums for the fuck of it for all these years. Did you know no one actually buys these albums? Also, did you know that Paul McCartney only worked with Kanye West because he was so impressed that he won that much money in the lottery? I just don't know how Kanye continues to do it. This has been a Gattaca Feelings fact.
Oh my god. And I probably should note that I'm not blasting Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody all that much, but I can at least acknowledge that they've had a really big impact in the music industry. And as far as Paul McCartney, why, dude? You don't even need Kanye to freaking be relevant. You already have made such an impact in the music industry with the Beatles and your solo work. Just why?
Paul McCartney's one of those guys who just
does whatever, you know, because he doesn't have to give a shit anymore. I mean, he's basically a music god at this point. Because, I mean, yeah, since the Beatles, and the fact that he's, like, infinitely more talented than Kanye West will ever be, he doesn't have to really give a shit, you know. But I just don't understand what the fucking point of Marvel's throwing that into the video was. I don't get why that needed to be there.
And by the way, him talking about winning the lottery, I mean, if you want to talk about, oh, he only collaborated with Kanye because he won the lottery, that doesn't seem like he genuinely wanted to collaborate with him other than just to get his name out there.
Like I said, Kanye West is another pop star who's famous because he did the least amount of work and made the most amount of money. Oh, and by the way, Marbles, most of the fucking album sales you see statistics of for bands like Kanye West's music and shit aren't accurate. I mean, there's not really that many fucking people actually buying his records, for God's sake. You know.
Arrogance. It's arrogance like this that makes for mediocre musicians, and like, he's an okay rapper. But I think he can do so much more if he just got his head out of...
Two things. I wonder what you're going to be referring to, Marbles. Kanye, if you want to truly get big, stop doing what gets you so much attention and buzz. Okay, I mean...
Oh, is that something you put up on the screen?
Yeah. You need to break through to the socially awkward vlogger crowd. What?
Okay. I mean, you know, there's nothing more socially awkward than a dude who sits in his house alone all day and badgers everyone we know for no other reason than to do it. You know?
Not to mention his butt buddy makes fucking 5 to 8 hour long Google Hangouts, and all they do in those Hangouts is trash talk people like us for no other reason than for the lulz and too edgy for me, mate.
You know, and the craziest part about that is an observation that I've had about that. It's like these people really don't have anyone else in the world for each other but each other. And eventually their shit starting will make them fall out with each other, and then they'll have no one. Because I can't, for the life of me, see somebody like Marbles ever having a real social life. I mean, somebody that's this big of an asshole, just, what I've learned in life, they just don't have friends in real life. They don't. There's no way they do.
Let's not forget that you and I are so much better at networking. Like, we've networked with actual internet celebrities and musicians, and we've interacted with all these fucking people, whereas, what the fuck are these people doing? Like, the most people that they've interacted with is Femitheist and Gofflin, from what I'm aware of.
They just interact with other shit-starting lolcows and trolls. I guess he wears the mask in his videos because he doesn't want the few people he probably knows in his personal life to see what he does online and recognize him from it, because then they'll look at him and go, wow, you're a fucking idiot. We don't want to be your friend anymore if this is what you do with the majority of your time. I think it has more to do with that than that Japanese slit-mouthed woman legend that he's friggin' obsessed with. I think he's just used that as a defense mechanism against it for so long. It's now become his, like, I don't know, his hobby to say it's about that when it's not. I don't know.
It's like a homophobe being afraid to come out of the closet. And another thing I've noticed with these freaking edgetards, they love to make fun of others' appearances, especially if they wear beanies and fingerless gloves, whereas this motherfucker is wearing a surgical mask. And nothing wrong with wearing masks, but dude.
Consistency! And if he's going to respond to this, you know what? You don't get to make the argument like that, okay, well, look at MDA, he wears a mask. Well, you know what? It's not like he's playing the role of a character or anything like that, and you're just doing this because you're just wanting to hide. You know? There's a huge difference.
Marbles tip, if you wear a mask and you're not Marbles, then you're just being a tryhard. Or if you wear fingerless gloves or beanies, or you wear anything that makes you stand out in some sort of way, or you are portraying a different character or a different persona, then you are just trying way too hard to hide your social awkwardness, pretty much, and your fucking autism. And another fucking thing, what is up with these fucking autistic jokes? Like, I'm all down for, like, dark humor, but you just go about it so fucking wrong. Like, you go to the point of harassing people that have autism and Asperger's. You know, a fucking disorder that people were fucking born with.
It's like, it's a joke on image boards and shit. I guess the majority of their time is spent going on 4chan and different image boards, because if they want to call something stupid on there, they call it autistic or something like that. Or if someone does just something that's just next level dumb, they say it's autistic. Or maximum level autism, because they think it's funny, you know? If that's where he's deriving his sense of humor from, then holy fucking shit, yeah, what an empty life.
And we're the immature ones, and they like to make remarks of, oh, to be 13 again, like there's a facial gacka and this Stevie motherfucker.
And just to spite him, I put on a beanie, so...
Secondly, I assume Gacka likes Eminem, Hospen, and Macklemore. Okay.
Do the frizzle frazzle pudding pop. Sounds like Bill Cosby.
I also mentioned Immortal Technique and Gangstar, whom are black rappers, so what's the deal? I mean, I also like musicians like Tosin Abasi, whom is black and one of the best guitar players on the planet, so are you trying to imply that I'm racist? I mean, on your fucking comment section, apparently, someone's going around saying that I'm a well-known racist, and I'm so racist I won't eat black beads.
Oh, yeah.
They can call me a racist, even though I fucking listen to Tech9, even though I listen to friggin' Immortal Technique, even though I listen to Nas and all this other shit, and I was raised in a ghetto full of fucking black people when I was a kid. Yeah, sure, you know. Okay. Yeah, I'm a racist. Woo.
Please, that, like, oh, I'm lame for listening to Eminem and Macklemore, okay. Pretty much. He needs to take notes from people like Eminem, Gangstar, NWA, Immortal Technique, and there's a list of rappers he could take lessons from, but nah, no. Kanye West earned 7th straight platinum album with Jesus. Are you trying to imply that just because someone goes platinum, that they're automatically good?
They can actually purchase that kind of status if they have enough money, too. I found that out. They can like, this guy doesn't actually have to sell that many fucking records. I mean, he has no comprehension of how screwed up the music industry really is at all.
That's one of the reasons why I started the video series, The Great American Demise, celebrating the demise of American Idol, actually wanting to collaborate with content creators and musicians. I already got Ascendia to be in the first episode, and I'm working on getting more in the future. And as far as platinum status goes, from 2014, from what I read up on, not a single artist made platinum. So I don't know where this whole thing is going, but the whole point is that having a platinum album does not mean that you make good music. It just means you're able to sell 1 million fucking records, for the most part, to an impressionable audience, which is getting more and more impressionable as the years go by.
Oh yeah, it's because of what the music industry wants to put on the radio. You know, like when you and I were growing up, bands like Korn and Deftones, Linkin Park, Limp Bizkit, all that stuff was huge on the radio. So bands like that made fucking platinum albums because it was what basically the gigantic majority of people were listening to. It was on mainstream radio, it was on MTV and all that shit. Well, the demographic is not there anymore, so now it's more to this hip-hop shit like Kanye West's music, and now that shit's going platinum. And the industry does, like, fucking stupid trends like this all the time, and doesn't think about the impact it has on society. If you make all this brainless, idiotic hip-hop music that has no value, and there's hip-hop music out there that has value, don't get me wrong, but if you put all this gangster rap, fucking stupid, be as ghetto as possible music out there and make that just the most popular thing that exists, yeah, look what the fuck happens to society. That's why a lot of these records won't go platinum, because people are finally sick and tired of listening to this fucking trash, and only the lowest common denominator wants to hear it, so nobody's out buying fucking records anymore.
I mean, hell, I've come across so many phenomenal bands on YouTube, and if it wasn't for YouTube, I'd probably not even listen to music all that much, to be honest with you. And some of these artists, like Voices from the Fuselage, for example, they're more in the progressive metal alternative spectrum of things, but they have a couple songs from their debut album that actually sound like they could be on the top 40 radio, and yet they can't get on the radio because they don't fit the standards of the mainstream industry, and just, I don't even know.
I never would have guessed you were into progressive metal, but no.
No, as a matter of fact, I love progressive metal. That's actually the genre that I write music for, primarily.
No, I was just joking, because you're, like, completely obsessed with it, but it's not a bad thing.
Oh, I didn't get the joke or anything like that. That must mean that my ass purchases over 9,000 according to Marbles.
You didn't get the joke. You're autistic. No.
I think he'll get by. Been relying too much on autotune. You can just tell with that cover that he butchered.
Kind of like what you just did with the word butchered.
That he butchered.
Mm-hmm.
How is that? What point were you trying to make there?
I have no clue. Somehow you butchered the word butchered, which if you did would be a feat in and of itself.
I made a good point about autotune being a thing that a lot of mainstream artists rely too much on. I mean, it started out as an effect and a pitch corrector, then all of a sudden anybody can be a fucking pop star, so...
Actually, autotune is interesting. It started out as a deep-sea mining invention. Basically, they were using it as some type of sonar to look at oceanic shelves and things like that underwater to find where they could drill. And then somebody figured out how to modulate it for a person's voice, and then that's how you got autotuner. So it wasn't even originally developed for music at all.
Dork! You know too much. You must have autism.
I must have autism, man. My brain is just a library of useless knowledge I'll never do anything with.
The foundation, the insulation, and the finishing touches.
Great rape joke. Okay.
What's the point of that? These little inserts
make no sense to be there, so why are they there?
Edginess.
Right?
And before anyone says, well, he never said that he was a great singer, and he does completely different genre of music from this. Stop ragging on him, Madsby. Stop ragging on him, StoutMeister. This motherfucker claimed to be the biggest rock star in the world.
Well, that's news to me. Living like a rock star doesn't actually mean putting out 7 platinum records in a row, nor does it mean being married to a supermodel, or does it mean being worth over $130 million?
What the fuck in reality do any of those things mean, though? They don't mean shit. You know, and I don't get it. He's like attributing a level of meaning to these things that isn't there. I could have like a $7.8 billion worth. You know what? It wouldn't mean shit. It'd just be some fuck with a lot of money.
Not to mention, he constantly rags about, like, how there are celebrities that are just attention whores, when this guy is marrying one of the biggest attention whores in the world, and he puts himself out as this person that's like, I'm gonna be bigger than Ralph Lauren and Tommy Hilfiger and Jesus and Michelangelo, but in other interviews I'm gonna say, well, when I compare myself to them, they're my inspirations, but again, I will go down in the history books, you guys. I will go down. I will go down in the history books.
Kim Kardashian
is for attention. I guess Marbles doesn't get that fucking famous people like Kanye West marry famous people like Kim Kardashian for no other reason than to be in the public eye. They don't do it for any other fucking reason.
And I feel bad for the kids involved. Well, technically one kid and then one kid on the way, but still, I feel bad for them, especially when they get a divorce a few years from now.
Yeah, I mean, you know, It's just like when you see like famous actors marry actresses and they're only married for like a couple of weeks. They just do it to stay in the friggin' public eye. You know, the world of fame and celebrity like that is so friggin'... It's just so completely desensitized, and it's away from what the rest of us consider normal. It's attention whoring at, like, level red, man.
I mean, it's all gay marriage's fault. It's all marriage equality's fault, dude.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. You know, it really is. The gays brought this on us, I'm sure.
When you say you're a rock star, that instantly means you are now an expert in all songs rock and you can sing them wonderfully, and you are claiming to be a good singer. That's why the phrase live like a rock star deals with... Wait a minute, no, it doesn't deal with being able to sing well. It deals with parties, money, and success, which Kanye West seems to have attained. Now, what I don't remember him saying was, I am the best singer of all time. Because that seems to be what you're going off here, which is a made-up quote, which you shouldn't do, because going off of made-up quotes is a silly ranter thing to do. But you are that silly, so I'm not really surprised.
But the truth is, a lot of people think they're geniuses, and nobody says it because it's weird to say it. But it is most certainly more honest to say, I am a genius.
I'm totally weird, and I'm totally honest, and I'm totally inappropriate sometimes. And the thing is, you know, for me to say I wasn't a genius, I would just be lying to you and to myself. You know?
Well, it's not like this fuck ever used Google, because he actually did say that.
He's even compared himself to Jesus.
Yeah, he has. He's actually done all this shit.
Hell, he has a song called I Am God, so...
Claimed to be a god as well, I think, way back when.
Well, he certainly acts like a god wannabe, so...
I don't think God would be that arrogant. Remember, God is loving, and God is kind.
Even more continued surprises today, this time a big one. Awkward vloggers on YouTube interpret Yeezus' album to be literal and pick up on absolutely zero nuance. Let's check our second story. Yup, water's still wet.
That's really the best he could fucking do. This is just embarrassing. Like, here's the crazy thing. Here's the crazy part. This is my legit reaction to it. It's just, it's like senseless and stupid. You know, I could go all out and just scream and yell about how fucking dumb he is, but the reality is it's just sad almost to see somebody this retarded almost.
Dude, if you wanted to refute my point, you could have taken the Jimmy Kimmel interview that he did a while back and take the part where he said that when I'm comparing myself to Jesus and Michelangelo, I'm not literally comparing myself. I'm saying that they're my inspirations.
When I compare myself to Steve Jobs or Walt Disney, Howard Hughes, David Stern, Michelangelo, Da Vinci, Jesus, or whatever it is, I'm saying these are my heroes. These are people that I look up to. This is the type of impact I want to make on the earth. If I can make this type of impact up to this point, what can I do if you call Bob Iger and say, yo, give him a shot?
But then your attitude shows otherwise. That was the fucking point of what I said when he said that he compares himself to God and all these other people. He literally goes around saying that he's the greatest motherfucker on this planet and in the universe. I mean, where have you been?
And like I said, he's only doing it because he has money. If he didn't have money, you know what? He'd be shutting his fucking mouth and looking at people like him the same way we do. You know, we don't have millions of dollars. We don't have all this stuff. So we look at people that didn't even have to do much to get all this shit as a bunch of arrogant pieces of crap because they don't even know what the hell they're talking about. I'm sorry that we use money from our hard-earned paychecks to buy your fucking albums to help you buy another goddamn fucking Ferrari and shit. And he'll probably say, that sounds like jealousy. Well, it's not like you're ranting against our videos, Marbles, because you're jealous. You know, it's not like it rustles your jimmies to know that we get all the attention you want, but you're too big of an asshole to get on your own.
This gives a whole new meaning to haters make us famous.
Oh, God. I never thought that would work, but yes, it does.
Just to end it all with a nice little toast.
Just to really connect with my 15-year-old teen boy audience, how about a nice drink of fuck you, Mom? I'll go to bed when I want to. And you know what's in this damn cup? It's not tea, I'll tell you that much. It's cigarettes.
Where did that come from?
I don't even know.
The majority of people that watch my videos are literally from the ages of 19 through like fucking 40 and shit.
Dude, pretty much same here, from high school to 40-year-olds. Like, I have much more of a diverse audience than this motherfucker, obviously, but...
The statistic for mine is everywhere from the ages of 18 to 35. You know, so, and not only that, I mean, you know, out of near 20,000 subscribers here, and I think it was 11,000 for you. I mean, that's a pretty goddamn huge amount of people. If you think about 20,000 people and 11,000 people both wanting to watch what we do. So yeah, 15-year-old fanboys, really. Get in touch with reality, dude.
Not to mention, like we said earlier, we network with a shit ton of people as well, Stevie and I both, so what does that say about you when you're saying that we're the losers?
Yeah, what has he got, 830 subscribers right now, I think?
And this isn't to say that subs are the only thing that matter, just to be clear, but when you put out content like this, it's amazing that you can get even 100 subscribers.
It's not even so much that, too. It's the fact that even if we do have a huge number of subscribers, it doesn't even calculate the amount of people who aren't subscribed that are still watching us and his shit. And the people that actually do watch it, too. So he could have 830 subs and have only like 100 at most even watch his shit. You know, I think the last time I had anywhere near 830 subscribers was 7 fucking years ago when I like first started.
Oh man.
I can't even remember when I had that few.
I'm hardcore. Yeah!
Shut the fuck up, lines.
Oh my god. I had a double face palm.
Dude, you're trying so hard to take my fucking... You actually think that I'm taking the whole muggy gimmick seriously? In the comment section below, feel free to like this video, share this video, feel free to tell us just how much of shit...
Share my video, comment on my video, favorite my video, show my video to your mom, show my video to your dad, show my video to your dog, see if he pays attention, why not give it a shot? Bring my video to school with you.
Fuck us for promoting our shit, you know.
There is this stigma that other ranters in the past have talked about promoting your channel being a horrible thing, so I guess we're just like them just because we do rant videos?
Right. You know, because I've realized that actually doing the channel promoting thing at the end is actually a very smart idea. I used to think it was kind of whorish, but the reality is, no, it's not. There's a reason why some people are where they are, and why I wasn't there yet.
I mean, we all, when we first started doing this shit, I mean, we looked up to people like Archfiend and other people, and oftentimes, more so than not, they've actually went against this sort of thing, and we kind of developed that mentality for a while, because, we see these guys as smart motherfuckers, and these YouTube whores, like, a lot of them are actual YouTube whores, but at the same time, these YouTube whores actually have genius marketing, and...
There's a reason why they're at where they're at, basically.
Do you think that, like, marketing yourself is whorish? I mean, like, looking back now, like, how could anyone think that way?
I don't know. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, I used to get so pissed off at people for doing that. Now I'm starting to do it myself in my fucking description box now. So, fuck me for promoting myself, I guess.
You put my video in the freezer, who knows? It might be just as good after a few days if you heat it up in the microwave evenly.
What?
What?
How do you heat... Okay, I'd like to know, how do you heat a YouTube video up in the microwave?
I don't know. I guess it's just, edge lingo that we don't understand because we're not that cool.
I don't know. I have a life. I can't always be on image boards until 5:30 in the morning wondering where my fucking life is gone.
Well, nonetheless, we do appreciate your services, Marbles, and everyone else in your circle jerk. Thank you.
Now, please kill yourself.
And just to rub it in your fucking face, Marbles, here's my friend Muggy.
My beer's empty, so I can't hold it up. Because there was, like I said, no way I was going to be able to get through that sober.
I don't blame you one bit. But I guess we gave our 2 cents. So, yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. And to Marbles and all you motherfuckers that like stalking us and like making your half-assed videos on us. Thank you for your dedicated time that you've given us all these years.
Thanks for being such nice people that you think we're pieces of shit when you think it's funny to send another person we know into a fucking seizure, you fucking spineless piece of shit. I'm glad that you think somebody else's suffering is fucking funny, you asswipe. But yeah, thank you.
Not to mention the other times that they've harassed friends of ours that we could go into detail about, but we don't need to make this video any longer, so yeah, you get the fucking point.
Nice catch it! Dork! Dork! Dorky, dorky, dork! Man, that felt good.